All right, today we are diving into a concept that is, well, it's both fascinating and honestly pretty unsettling. It comes from a story called The Memory Market, where your actual memories become money. So let's just jump right in. I want you to picture a world where your most personal, private memories are literally for sale. Think about it. Your first love, that perfect summer from your childhood, the moment you landed your dream job. What if you had to sell those just to make rent? That's the exact world we're going to explore. So let's start with the basics, how this whole thing works in what the story calls the memory market, a place built entirely on traded experiences. Okay, so here's the core idea. In this future, your personal memories can be physically extracted from your brain. They get crystallized into these beautiful, shimmering blue shards, almost like little gems. And these shards, they function just like cash. You can use them to pay off debts, buy fancy things, or, just to survive. And this one detail just captures the whole vibe perfectly. Imagine walking through a city, right? But the neon signs aren't for cars or clothes. They're advertising intimate moments. You see a sign blinking, first kiss, premium quality. It takes something so deeply human and turns it into just another product on the shelf. But a system like this isn't just some abstract economic theory. It has a real, profound human cost. And that brings us to the heart of our story, a very personal crisis and a brother facing an impossible choice. So let's meet our protagonist, Jonas Harker. He's a systems auditor, and he absolutely despises this whole memory market. But he gets dragged right into the middle of it when his sister, Lila, sells way too many of her own memories to cover her debts. She's basically becoming a blank slate, and now creditors are threatening to take what little she has left. Jonas realizes he has no choice. He has to enter the very market he hates to try and save her. And the price of that choice is just staggering. To buy back Lila's memories, things like her childhood, her college days, the songs she loved, Jonas has to sell his own. He literally trades away his biggest career wins, his friendships, even the memories of past relationships. It's a direct, painful exchange of his identity to restore hers. The way the story describes this process, it's just brutal. As Jonas sells off piece after piece of himself, he feels like he's emptying out. All that's left behind is this sterile void where his life, his past, used to be. The sacrifice is literally hollowing him out from the inside. But while Jonas is going through this personal hell, his struggle is part of a much bigger picture. See, out of this kind of desperation, a rebellion starts to form. A counterfeit rebellion, with a wild plan to crash the entire system from the inside. So how do you fight a system that's built on the value of authentic memories? Well, you destroy the very idea of authenticity. The rebellion's plan is kinda genius, actually. They create incredibly convincing fake memories, hack the distribution network, and then just flood the market with these counterfeit shards. The goal is simple, but devastating. If you can't tell what's real and what's fake, then no memory is trustworthy. And if they're not trustworthy, their value collapses to zero. And this, of course, raises this massive ethical question. What they're doing, is it just a huge act of criminality, a kind of mass fraud that will hurt tons of people? Or is it maybe the purest form of rebellion you can have against such a dehumanizing system? I mean, where do you even draw that line? And that question right there, that's what leads us to the real soul of this story, the philosophy of the self. Because this isn't just about a cool sci-fi economy. It's asking a really fundamental question. What even are we if we're not our memories? There's this one quote from Jonas after he sold so much of himself that just gets right to the heart of it. He says, "Even if I can't remember why I love the sound of rain, I know that I do. Maybe that's enough." It suggests that maybe, just maybe, there's something left over, some core essence of who we are that exists even when the memories that built it are long gone. So it forces us and Jonas to confront this huge philosophical question. Are we really just the sum total of our memories, or is there something more to us than that? And the story seems to offer two competing answers here. On one hand, you have the idea that identity is totally individual, that we are our personal experiences, that unique collection of moments we've lived. But on the other hand, there's this relational view, that we're defined more by our actions, our choices, and our connections to other people, like Jonas's choice to save Lila, even if the specific memories behind those choices fade away. When you think about it, this story is a pretty powerful critique of trends we're already seeing today. Our data, our online behavior, our digital memories are already being bought and sold. We curate our lives for an experience economy. This story just takes it one logical, terrifying step further, exploring what happens when you commodify the human soul itself. It forces us to ask about the value of genuine versus manufactured experiences, especially in a world where the truth itself feels more and more synthetic. So, okay, let's bring this all home. This shouldn't just be a futuristic thought experiment. Let's turn these questions on ourselves for a minute. Just put yourself back in that world for a second. Your past is currency. Every single memory you have, the good, the bad, the embarrassing, the beautiful, every single one has a price tag. So I want you to take a moment and really think about it. What memories would you hold most secret? What experiences are so fundamental to who you are that you could never, ever put a price on them? And then, here's the harder question. If you absolutely had to, what would you dare to trade away? What part of yourself would you be willing to sacrifice? That's a question worth thinking about.